All right. Good evening. Are we ready, Aramis?
Happy freaking New Year. Yes, we are.
Happy freaking New Year's, right, my friend?
It's over. It's
It's
finally over.
over. All right. Are we ready?
Sure.
All right. Red button.
Yeah.
All right. And oh wait, talk. Make sure your audio is going through
What?
before we.
But
Yep.
I,
There we're
I
good.
don't.
All
Okay,
right.
fine.
3, 2, 1. Click.
Click.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the PlanesTalkers podcast, the show by casuals for casuals. I'm your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my, hey, the Buffalo Bills are finally doing better than the Carolina Panthers co-host, Aramis Perez. Aramis, how are you, sir?
Is it? Is it over?
It's over. Well, I mean,
It's,
they've got
it's
Saturday, so.
no. I mean, is 2020 over?
Oh, 2020 is wicked over, dude. I'm all about that. So we'll get right into that. We've got a great show for you guys tonight. We took last week off just because, well, there wasn't much going on.
No.
But before we begin tonight's show, we do want to remind you that this episode and every episode of the PlanesTalkers podcast is sponsored by Kerwin's Game Store. Kerwin's Game Store is New York State's premier source for collectible card games, tabletop games, miniatures, comic books, retro video games, and toys. With their clean, open gaming areas available to everyone at no charge, we assume someday if COVID ever decides to finally get the hell out of this country, Kerwin's provides a fun and inviting atmosphere for new and experienced gamers alike, with locations in both Catskill, New York, and now on the second floor of the Poughkeepsie Gallery in Poughkeepsie, New York. Kerwin's Game Store is the absolute best place in gaming. Now, they have a great website, KGS, that's Kite Go Samuel, online.com. However, right now, we're not sure that our 5% code is working. They are working on it. It used to be PlanesTalkers 2020, but coincidentally, that seemed to expire on December 31st. So Steve has told me he is going to look into it. So I'll be updating you guys as soon as we have the new information. But for right now, we're doing pretty good. We also want to recognize our Planeswalker level patrons: Brian, David, Jonathan, Johnny, Bell, Anthony, Steve, Mark, George, Josh, Zach, Ian, and Randy. Listen, you guys, you keep the lights on. You keep everything running, man. We cannot do this show without you guys. We're very thankful for you. Now you're going to get some of your perks because we're going into our Win-A-Box program for the Kaldheim, which our patrons are right now. They're the only ones that can sign up. After tonight's show, we open it up to our listeners and people on the Discord. So if you're a patron and you're listening to this, and whether you're a Planeswalker level or you're just a basic, you're eligible. Just make sure you go to the Discord because we're using Discord mainly now. We'll talk about that later. To
Yeah.
find out more, how you could help the show, if you want to get into these drawings that we're having, we're going to make some changes here. We did have our call this week. Go to patreon.com/planestalkers. Finally, we want to remind you guys that we are a featured top 25 MTG podcast on FeedSpot. You can go to blog.feedspot.com/magic_the_gathering_podcasts.
Too many freaking underscores.
God. No, eventually I'm going to just put a pointer in there. But
Yeah.
for right now, just go there. It's magic_the_gathering_podcast. And you can find us. We're number 14. So check them out. And we want to remind you that we are proud to be the flagship podcast for the PlanesTalkers network of podcasts. We do have a sister show, Commander Craft. It's been on a brief hiatus thanks to coronavirus. One of the hosts actually got nailed. So they're getting their show ready. They're going to relaunch here very shortly. You can find more about them on Commander Craft MTG on the web, social media, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, the whole nine. So Commander Craft MTG, they talk all about EDH. But we're still in Untap, and it's a new year, so it's a new me, Aramis. So I'm going to untap an older beer. I'm drinking more Elysian Space Dust, because damn it.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
How the hell are you, my friend?
I am good. I was worried there for a moment that we'd be sitting there on New Year's Eve, watching the clock go to midnight,
December
and then it would
32nd?
go from 12 o'clock. It would go from 11:59 on December 31st, 2020, to 12 o'clock midnight on December 32nd, 2020.
Yes, exactly.
I swear to God, that was what was going to
Or
happen. So when
even better, January 1st, 2020. We're going to do this
just
again
reset.
until we
Yeah,
get it right.
2020 with a little star because it's the hard mode enabled, and I was like, oh, thank God that little zero turned into a 1.
I thought that. I did. I thought that. But God damn it, if 2021 didn't say hold my beer.
2021's off to a start. I'm not. It's off to a start. That's all I'll say. It's off to a start.
I mean, damn.
Start of something.
Dude, all right. Who had a buffalo trying to take over the Capitol building in an attempted coup for January? Who was that? I saw the meme. And
I'm checking my apocalypse bingo card. I think that was on 2012. But
oh, shit.
is that still valid?
Yeah,
9 years old.
Wow, that just again. Not that we didn't see this coming.
No, yeah, this was a train wreck that we knew was going to happen.
You know, absolutely, and it's definitely one of those moments. So and look, I fixed it.
Hey, carnage!
2021 is off to a fantastic start.
Oh,
so
fantastic?
yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. So yeah, how the hell are you otherwise, dude?
Other than all of that, things are going pretty well. New year, new set coming out. Can't wait to start talking about it. And football playoffs, like you said, Bills won a game. My mom was a longtime Bills fan. I grew up a Bills fan until I jumped to Carolina. So it's always good for me. I always feel good when they're doing well, and they're finally doing well. Cleveland won a game, which is awesome.
Yes. So. Cleveland, you know what? As much as I was a fan of, and I gotta admit, okay, I'm a dyed in the cloth Miami Dolphin fan. I mean, this is not news to anyone out there. And listen, I was as surprised as anyone at how well they did this year. They did a lot better than I thought they would do. I think they've got to run in them in 2 or 3 years. The quarterback situation seems to be the best it's been in a while.
They might be trading Tua.
No, why?
For Deshaun Watson.
I can get behind that.
That's the rumor right now, is that Deshaun Watson might go to the Miami Dolphins.
Edwards is not. He's like 900.
They got to stick with Tua. That's all I'm going to say. They need to stick with the kid.
God damn it.
Stick with the kid. They'll be fine.
But in any event.
Event.
It felt good to see the hometown team like actually show up and play the game, Mm-hmm. It was I was watching a lot of the game. The wife and I my dad, I love it. He's like, stay safe. Don't go to dinner. Merry Christmas. Here's a Texas Roadhouse gift card. Okay. You're not okay. So we went out. We did. We were very, and I'll say this: we've gone out to a few restaurants. Texas Roadhouse did it safer than anybody I've seen yet. They weren't letting anyone over 8 come in the doors, which we have seen at 2 different other places, including Red Lobster. They weren't, they were really, really good about social distancing. Their waitresses were 100% masked up. It was and I'm sorry, there's crack in them damn rolls, man. So
I've only been there once, but I can attest to that.
Yes. So the fact is, we went to dinner and we had a nice dinner, but I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, the game's on. And I don't have cable anymore. I cut the cord a long time ago. So I was very excited that I'm watching the game. And I was watching it and I'm like, no, they're making rookie mistakes. The Bills are not going to the Super Bowl. Listen, Buffalo fans, just understand this. They're not ready to go to the big game yet. They are not.
Mini combat right here.
Okay.
If Kansas City somehow loses next week,
how are they losing?
I'm just saying to Cleveland. Yeah, if by some miracle, Kansas City loses, Buffalo will go to the Super Bowl.
Okay, now you got to ask yourself this. Okay, all right, let's say that this guy happens. That's also the apocalypse bingo card. Who had Cleveland versus Buffalo in the AFC Championship game?
Not this guy. So, I mean, honestly, I think KC is going to destroy Cleveland. I feel kind of bad for him.
KC's going to make them. Yes, Nick, your money's on the Steelers. Good call.
They
you
lost
enjoyed having
last
money.
night.
Yeah, they lost.
That first snap of the game, what happened?
Horribly last night.
The very first snap, it goes woo over his head.
Wow, that was. Hey, and it was Roethlisberger's head, which he's like 900 feet tall. So
I know, and it cleared him. It was great.
It was definitely something.
I love football.
I do too, and I know this is a Magic Cast. We're not going to sit on football all day long, but I would like to see. I kind of want to. The Bills ain't going all the way. Let's be honest, but
it would be nice.
They're going to have some. And for those of you who don't know, we're talking sport ball right now, so forgive me.
It would be nice. That's all. Be really nice to see. Because I don't really feel anybody in the NFC this year. flew over his head.
Wow, yeah, I definitely.
Hey, let's go. And it was
I don't know who
Roethlisberger's
could
head,
do
which
it.
he's
I
like,
really
"Look at
don't.
me."
So
Hmm.
I accidentally posted into the Ask the Judge. Whoops. I might
Oh.
get banned. Oh yeah.
Oh, you're done.
Screw them if they can't take a goddamn joke. All right, so moving on. We have a pretty good show tonight. We did take we took a week off last week mainly because we were like we looked through the news and we looked through and we were like, yeah, card previews. We did that last week and well, we could talk about ourselves because it's our 2-year anniversary. Nah, that's kind of lame. Let's come back next week. So that's why we took last week off. We did play Commander Craft where I did win a game and Aramis did not. And so anyway,
Let you not win.
Oh yeah. So we have a great show tonight. So we're going to go through some of the Kaldheim previews tonight. We're going to talk about the new set. Aramis and I each picked about 5 cards. Now this may lead us to other cards to talk about. I mean, we're not going to be, militant about it by any stretch of the imagination. If it takes us somewhere, we're going to go follow it. We have a combat tonight we're going to talk about, and then we're going to go in main 2. We're going to talk about some second season because this is the start of our 3rd season. So I even have like clips. I even grabbed clips. Yes, that's right. I am prepared. I did show
highlights.
prep.
Wow.
Yes, and it might be one of your favorite bits on the show. It might have made our cut. I only had 2 because damn it, I'm tired.
Oh.
But yeah.
Cool.
Well, yeah. You look at you grinning like a.
I already know what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Well, let's get right to it. Let's go to main phase.
Main phase.
All right, main phase. So you might have heard, folks. Magic Wizards is releasing a new set very, very soon, as in like end of month. Did you pre-order yet?
Oh, I pre-ordered like a few weeks ago.
I want to pre-order, but I can't get the code on the website.
Oh, I did it before the code expired.
Yeah, I should have done it then. Shut up. So we've got Kaldheim coming, which is, for those of you that don't know, Kaldheim is, you know what? I'm going to talk about this for just a second. It seems like since they've had to do the COVID thing, the release videos released on Twitch by Magic have gotten more and more lame.
Campy.
Jive. Yeah.
I was okay with it until the air guitar.
I wasn't okay with any of it. I'm like, first of all, the minute you start calling yourself metal, you cease to be metal. Like it's like, oh God, it was so.
I looked.
And then
past
you look at
most
Jimmy
of that
Wong,
stuff.
and you're just like, you have no idea who these people are. You're afraid they're going to mug you. Like, I mean, he did. It was like, it was so lame. Like,
I do like that they asked metal bands to like write songs for the expansion and to preview cards and talk about the game. I do like that because it shows the broader appeal of the game to not just kitchen table folks.
it all seemed cheesy and lame to me. But anyway,
you're old. What do you want?
I know, I'm wicked old. So, but Kaldheim is like based around a little bit of Norse mythology. So
a lot of it in Norse mythology.
Yeah, a lot of Norse mythology. So I mean, Vikings and giants and frost giants and snow, and we get. I mean, and I think that's the biggest. Let's not bury the lead. I mean, snow is back.
Yes,
snow lands are coming back. They printed some snow dual lands that are coming out. They've got modal dual face cards involving snow. Snow is here. So, and we're not talking, the snow they had in the 80s. That never left.
And it's not Jon Snow either.
It's not Jon. Really?
I've seen one episode of Game of Thrones. Okay, so I had to throw it in there.
Need to see. You need to finish the show. I know. Now listen, and I'm telling you right now, the last 2 seasons, it's going to be an exercise, but you need to finish it. You just
if I can sit through the first 2 seasons of DS9, I can sit through the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, it's easier because it's only like 12. So, in any event, so Kaldheim is based around this Norse mythology thing. So Norse. Wow, say that 10 times fast. Norse mythology. Norwegian mythology. There we go.
Vikings.
Yes. Vikings. Yes. Not Minnesota metal. Vikings. No. And metal. Yeah. It's so fucking lame. It really is.
I like the collector booster wrappers. Those are cool looking.
It's so fucking lame. Anyway.
I like it.
So it was cool. Like, their cards are coming out. I mean, really, I guess what, I mean, do you want to talk about the mechanics real quick? I mean, the mechanics in Kaldheim, I mean, they're bringing back MDFCs, which I don't think those are going
Yes.
away anytime soon. Actually,
No, the MDFCs are going to be in Strixhaven as well, because I guess Strixhaven was where they were first going to be,
okay,
and then they saw how good they were in design, so like, oh, let's put them in other sets. So they brought them backwards into Kaldheim and Zendikar. So those are coming back. There's a new mechanic called Foretell, which I believe some of our preview cards deal with, so we'll talk about it more
yeah,
then. There's
boast.
snow,
Some of ours talk about boast.
boast. There's, like you said, snow cards. There's a heavy tribal theme.
Yes,
And
and
trying to think what
sagas are
else there
back
was.
again.
Sagas, yes, sagas are also back, and that is awesome, because I think it's the first time that we're going to have multicolored sagas. They've been all monocolored up until this
Right.
point, so it opens up more design space, because you get to do, oh,
And
this
I
color's
like the
good at this.
changelings. I like that they're
Yeah,
changelings again.
and yes, changeling is back as well. So we have shapeshifters and all creature type shenanigans, and there's some crazy stuff to go with that, and I'll talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah. So, well, let's why don't we go ahead and just start breaking down some of the cards here. I'm going to start off, and oh, look at that! It's like the screen is already set for me. How nice.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Wake the Trolls. So it says on the screen now. The screen, obviously, I pulled this. It's in, I believe, some sort of Spanish. But basically, Wake the Trolls is the first saga. It's a dual-colored saga.
Mhm.
It was 4 colorless, red and green, and it's basically, the first part of the saga is destroy a target land. Yes. 2,
I never saw
return
you as a
target
Ponza
land.
person.
Huh?
I never saw you as a Ponza person.
Return target land from a graveyard to the battlefield under your control. No, I'm thinking commander here too. This is going to be really good for some of my commander decks.
Okay.
Return a target land from the battlefield under my control. And then 3, choose target opponent. If you control more lands than them, create a number of 4/4 green troll warrior tokens with trample equal to the difference. So if again, don't get me wrong, Wizards, what the hell is it with you in ramp? Because again, this rewards ramp. Oh, what? Turn 6, you got 8 lands out, and I have 4? Oh, shit.
The big difference this time is that it's not Simic. It's usually Simic that
Yeah.
they push with the ramp stuff.
So it's gonna be something. It's gonna be somewhat. I'm okay with it in a lot of regards. I'm just like, I don't know. I guess I like the card though. I love that it's dual colored. I like that it's a saga. I like that it's messing with land, because you don't see a lot of land hate in standard these days. So
Right.
but
There really isn't a lot of land destruction in Magic at all, if you think about it right now, for the new sets.
So let's go to the next, and this is yours.
Yeah, and you had to know that this one was going to be one that I was.
Oh,
gonna...
I knew this was. Yeah, I saw this.
In fact, you could say you saw it coming.
Oh, oh yeah, that's okay.
So I had to. It's like the thing about this.
Nick says I hate you.
Well, think about this. The last.
By the way, you should introduce the name of the card now, Mr.
I just
Pun.
did.
No, you said you could have saw it coming, but you didn't say the name of the card is saw it.
The name of the card is saw it coming.
There you go.
Now, back in Throne of Eldraine, they had my favorite counterspell by name with "Didn't Say Please." This one it just goes right into that line of they've really been like chef's kiss on naming their counterspells. So Saw It Coming is an instant for 1 and 2 blue, and it simply says counter target spell. However, it has the Foretell ability. So for this one, the Foretell is 1 and 1 blue. So during your turn, I can pay 2 colorless mana and exile this card from my hand face down, and I can cast it on a later turn for its Foretell cost. Basically, what this is, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a trap card.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like morph for spells.
Right.
And
there's no way to interact with it once it's there. There's nothing that says if it's in exile, other than countering it when you cast it.
But yeah, it's cast like a regular spell, but it evades hand disruption. Hand disruption. You don't know what it is because it's face down. So if there are multiple Foretell cards, you have to do it in order as to which one is foretold first and whatnot. But
wait. So if I foretell a card, I can pick any one, can I? It doesn't. I don't.
You can pick any one, but you have to keep them in order. So that way, if someone says, if there's something that requires you to pick a certain face down card that was cast a certain turn,
sure,
you have to remember which one is which. And at the end of the game, it's like morph. You have to flip them back over to say, hey, this is what these were. just
Right.
so you know, I had all these. Um, I really like the foretell mechanic. I wasn't sure if they were going to do a counterspell for it, and I figured if they did, it'd be like situational, like unless they pay 2, or only if
Well,
it's a creature spell or what have you.
I would have put money
But
on
then,
cancel. Like they haven't put
well, this
cancel in
this
for a
this is
while.
cancel.
This is much better than cancel.
This is much better than cancel. This is probably one of the better counterspells they've printed in a while. It opens you up early in the game for them sneaking something through, but after that, I mean, you've got good old fashioned counterspell sitting there for 2 mana, just waiting for them to do something. And
Well, it's
you can,
playable almost right away. Okay, if you're going to foretell it, the reason you're foretelling it is you want to be able to counter something for just 2 later in the game. You pay
right.
2 to put it face down. Okay. The idea being that you probably have a blue already there. Like the next turn you can get the value off of this card. Like turn 3
Well,
this has value,
well,
which
yeah,
is when you
and
would play it normally anyway.
right. But then also too, like if the game goes long, you could have like 2 or 3 of these sitting aside
Oh yeah.
and still have a full hand of other counter magic or whatever else you want. So they're sitting there going, okay, well, it's going to be a longer counter war. And they're like, oh, you forgot about these 3. But then also on the other hand, if your hand is empty and you have a couple of these sitting down there, you're like, oh no, my hand is empty. Do whatever you want. I can't interact. Oh, wait, yes, I can. So I really, this is probably one of the best foretell cards we've seen so far. Um,
Do you
it'll see play
do you
somewhat.
think it's too
Do I think it's too good?
it's kind of got the companion mindset, which again, the thing
No,
that pissed off everybody in companion was hand disruption. Like it broke hand disruption.
no, because the thing about the companions was that it was a static ability or whatever it was, with certain ones, or it was such a game breaking ability when you did it. This one, most of these spells are one and done. There are a couple of cards that interact with foretell cards in one way or another that increase their power, but I don't think it's anything that's like super broken. This is obviously one of the better ones because it's counter magic and
Right.
you get to set it aside. But overall, this one's strong, but it's safe.
Shocker, Steve loves it.
Yeah, I think it's very good.
I do too. Actually,
There's a
I do.
lot
I
of
just have to
space.
play the devil's advocate on this,
Yeah,
so there's counter.
there's a lot of design space for and a bit for a mechanic like this, and I'll be happy to see what the rest of the set looks like, what other foretell cards we get. This one just caught my eye because I wasn't sure that they were going to do just a regular hard counterspell with foretell, and they did it, and I like it.
Well, I don't disagree. So my next card that I want to talk about is, and this might surprise you because this isn't my style, but when I read this card, I was like, ooh, wow. First of all, again, lots of text. Eradicator Valkyrie.
Yay.
2 black, 2 colorless. It's an Angel Berserker. Has flying, lifelink, and hexproof from Planeswalkers.
I like that.
I do too. It has a boast cost. Boast 1 and a black and a colorless. Sacrifice a creature. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or Planeswalker. Activate this ability only if the creature attacked this turn and only once each turn.
Yep.
Like, okay, so it attacks, which again, it's flying and lifelink. You're always going to attack with it. I mean, it doesn't have vigilance, otherwise it would be Angel of Invention on a stick. But I mean, flying, lifelink, hexproof from Planeswalkers, and then the boast mechanic is just, oh, sorry, you didn't block, okay, and it doesn't.
Oh,
It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they block or not. It's just
Yeah.
as long as it attacked. They could fog you and you'd be like, well, okay, then I use the boast ability.
Not just
anyway.
that, it's an instant speed. It doesn't say it has a sorcery.
Instant
Sacrifice
speed.
a creature. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or Planeswalker. So when you go to block with this card, all right, I'm sending in a 4/3. I'm gonna block with my 3/4 flyer. Really? 1 and a black. I sacrifice, and it's your only creature. Sacrifice a creature. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, but you have to make sure you do it before they declare blockers because then your guy's still blocked.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It opens up a lot of bluffing, a lot of how valuable are the creatures that you have there. If you're playing against like a control strategy, you start nuking their planeswalkers and still go face.
Yeah. It's a great card. I'm
It's
sorry.
very, very good.
I've seen some things like this will be the first ban. Maybe I don't think
No.
so though. I think in limited it's got a lot of potential. I think
In limited, it's an
constructed,
absolute bomb.
it'll see some constructed play. I'm sure.
Maybe. I mean, it kind of fills the same space as Rankle, so I guess it's
Yeah.
going to depend on. It won't fit the tribal synergy for a rogue deck, so it'll have to be some other black deck that uses a lot of creatures.
It could be going into a sack deck.
Possibly, yeah, sacrifice deck. we'd have to see how many sacrifice payoffs there are between all the cards in standard. I haven't really looked at that right now, especially for black. I mean, black green
Black
for
red.
like food.
I mean, black red.
Red too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's aristocrats. So
Yeah.
I think this will see some play in constructed, but I mean in limited, you open this.
Oh, it's
We always talk about like right before a set goes into pre-release. If you open this, motherfracker, you're playing black.
Yeah, you're totally in black if you open up this card. There's zero reason not to be unless like you literally opened nothing but garbage for the rest of your black cards.
Yeah, you're still playing this.
Because you'll try to squeeze it in somehow. I mean, it's like rekindling Phoenix.
I still remember that. All right, your next card.
All right, so my next card, we're going to stay in black. I am going to be talking about a MDFC, one of the new gods.
Modal dual face cards.
Yeah. Tergrid, God of Fright. And for 3 and 2 black, you get a 4/5 god creature with menace. Now, the interesting thing about the gods in Kaldheim is that unlike the gods in Theros, the gods in Amonkhet, these ones don't have indestructible. They don't go back to your hand when they die. They don't go back into your library when they die. The regular creatures, you can kill them normally, which I think is kind of cool. The Kaldheim gods are just, they're regular dudes. It's just super powerful.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's a 4/5 menace. And whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card onto the battlefield under your control from their graveyard.
From a graveyard. If they somehow manage to get it to exile.
If they exile it, then you don't get it. But if they're not exiling it, you're getting it.
Yeah.
Which is nuts already to me. This has a great synergy in Commander with Torment of Hailfire.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. You name like X is 10 or whatever. It's like, do you want to lose 30 life or do I get 10 of your things?
Yeah. Or Doom Foretold.
Or Doom Foretold, like Steve mentioned.
Oh, yes.
Any sacrifice ability, I mean, or just, you duress them and, oh, I'll take that. Thank you. Thoughtseize, in Modern.
It is. It's fucking ridiculous.
This is good. This is a really good card. It's a little expensive at 5 mana for some of these strategies, but if it's a longer control type of a deck, and if the game goes longer, or especially like I said, Commander, I mean, this plus like Dictator or Rebos, and you start killing off your guys, so they start sacrificing their guys, so you get their guys. I mean, the possibilities are almost endless with this card.
And here's the thing: on the other side, the Lantern's not horrible.
But that's the thing. That was only the front face of the card. There is an entire other card on the back of this called Tergrid's Lantern. It's a legendary artifact for 3 and a black, and it says tap. Target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. So you have Torment of Hailfire on 1 on a stick, and you could pay 3 and a black to untap it.
And since it's a dual face card, legendary rule would the legendary rule apply? I can have Tergrid and the Lantern out.
Yes, you may.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
So you could do both, and if you have a bunch of mana just sitting around, you'd be like,
wait, we must stop. We must stop. Hold on. Hello, Pam. All right, moving on.
So yeah, I mean, both sides of this, like if this was 2 separate cards, which technically it is, it would already be a great combination between the two of them. But the fact that it's on 1 card and you can pick and choose which side you need or want at the time, and the ability on the God side is just it's obscenely powerful. It is definitely a build around.
Oh yeah.
But if you get to do this once, even just once, that's going to be a play that your play group will remember for weeks, because they'll be like, oh my god, I can't
looking at the card above it, okay, that we just did with the bows, the Eradicator Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
There is a lot of synergy in black. And again, you're gonna love this. We're gonna keep going on. We're gonna go on to the next one, Draugr Necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's a black and 3 colorless zombie cleric. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile that card with an ice counter on it instead, which kind of sucks for you.
But if you control both of them, you get to choose which trigger.
But if Tergrid's there, I mean, obviously,
That's
you may cast spells. You may cast spells from among cards in exile your opponent's control with ice counters on them, and you may spend mana from snow sources as though it were mana of any color. Look, I love this. I love the fact that they're getting into snow shenanigans, and I understand that there are people like Steve and all that are like, why is snow in standard? Blah, 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 blah. I get it. And Steve, if I'm wrong, correct me in the chat. But, I mean, damn, this isn't great. I'm sorry.
Here's what snow does.
Okay,
the fact that there's any snow payoffs at all,
yeah,
basically means there's no reason to play basic lands. You're going to
None.
play snow covered anything, because
Right.
if you even have one payoff with snow, you're
It's
going to
Ice
play it.
Age. We're in Ice Age all over again.
Well, Cold Snap, because
Yeah.
remember, Ice Age and Alliances didn't have snow
right,
as
right.
regard of, not as heavily.
No, but they
Um,
had snow-covered islands and
they
snow-covered
did, but
mountains.
the payoffs were terrible until Cold
Right.
Snap. And then also too, basically now, if in standard, if you're not playing snowlands, they know you're not playing snow cards, so they can already say, well, I can eliminate this entire section of this set. I
Right.
know you're not going to be using it.
So I might have to go and buy a whole set of snow. I might just have to be like, I need.
Well, there's going to be snowlands coming in booster packs, so
Yeah.
they will be readily available.
And we will be opening boxes, you and I. I mean, we're both getting set boosters, right?
Yeah, I'm getting a set booster box.
Should we? We're probably going to do another. You want to do our little?
Another box battle?
Yeah.
Absolutely, that was
I
fun.
mean, we're not doing it with the. We're not getting collector
Yeah.
boosters, but
No. Not unless somebody like gifts one to
yeah.
me.
Hey, and if anybody out there wants to gift 2 collector boosters to me and Aramis, we'll open them on the air.
It would only cost you about $600.
Yeah,
You can do
and
that
we'll
or get a
keep the cards
PS5.
too. Believe me, we'll be
Yeah.
happy about it. So,
Totally.
oh, me and Ant will join in. Who says you're invited?
A and B conversation, see your way out of it.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, Commander Craft. Why don't you do it on your Commander Craft?
Oh,
Oh, snap dizzle.
point counterpoint.
So no, I'm kidding. But in any event, well, we'll talk about it. We might try to do a little something there. Because Aramis and I are both going to open regular booster boxes. Oh, who are we kidding? We cannot keep them sealed to open them. If it's going to be hard enough to keep this freaking, it's going to be hard enough to keep the, not collector boosters, but what the hell is it?
The set boosters?
Yeah, it's going to be hard enough to keep the set boosters sealed. The minute we get our hands on our regular draft boosters, I mean, they ain't long for this world.
Yeah, we we're looking at the box, and the next thing we know, we're sitting in a pile of empty Raptors.
On it, that's it. Well, I mean, I may turn on my camera and be like, "Here we go, I'm cracking a booster," but I'm like, "We ain't gonna wait for each other." I mean, it's just how it is. But yeah, no, I like this card. I kind of like that it's letting you grab other people's stuff, man.
Yeah, that's Black's thing. Is really, it's like now it's not just I'm killing everything. It's like I'm killing it, but I'm also stealing it for later or now.
And don't get me wrong, there's a part of me that's kind of like too. It's like regarding power level, it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the power level keeps creeping up. I would say, somebody else had mentioned this. No, somebody else had mentioned this and saying that this isn't as strong as Eldraine. It's stronger than Dominaria.
I don't think anything's gonna be as strong as Eldraine for a while.
No, I hope not. I hope not.
This is close though. What I've seen so far, they're one or two cards. They're 1 or 2 cards away from being as strong as Eldraine.
Yeah.
Like we were all kind of looking forward to the fall, I think, with a little bit of Eldraine kind of bottoming out. I mean, I know we're 7 months out from that, but you know, the idea of rotation and Eldraine being gone forever from standard, I know there are some people that are like, "Yay, let's party." Again, hold that.
Let's wait and see what's coming, because this might be more of the same. But hey,
hopefully we're wrong. Well, the next thing, sir, what's your next card?
Next card, we're going to go talk about a land. It is the World Tree.
Oh, it's a little world tree.
It's beautiful art. I love the art.
It is beautiful art.
I'm curious as to why it's not legendary. I know they've been really shying away from doing legendary lands. They say they don't play well, but it's like, okay, well, how's it different from any other legendary permanent? But whatever.
I think because there's so much land destruction now. Like this set has a bunch of it.
Where? And it's legendary, so you can't have more than one in play anyway. So if they blow it up, you just play the copy you have sitting in your hand.
Why is it not legendary?
Yeah, it's not.
It doesn't hurt it to not be legendary. Like
you can have 4 and play at a time. So anyway, the World Tree enters the battlefield tapped. It taps for a green, and as long as you can control 6 or more lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. The other ability, I'm not done. This is like Questing Beast of Lands here. You pay Wooburg twice, so 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 red, 2 green. Tap and sacrifice the World Tree. Search your library for any number of God cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. This in and of itself is kind of innocuous because, yeah, there's some gods in the set and there's some gods in older sets. So you can build like God Tribal Commander, which I might actually be building one of my commander decks to be God Tribal before I knew about this card. So this card's going to find a home.
Yeah, I think there is going to be some, and I think there's going to be some God Tribal in Standard.
There is a 2-card combo with this card that makes you
Oh.
put every permanent in your deck into play.
Oh.
You combine this with Maskwood Nexus. It's an artifact for 4 that says creatures you control or every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. And you can pay 3 and tap to create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with Changeling, but who cares? It turns everything into gods. So you blow up the world tree, you get everything in your deck. The whole deck into play, boom. Because you can imagine, you're sitting there going, end step, my deck enters the battlefield.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yes, my deck enters the battlefield, but doesn't have haste. Your turn. Oh, shit. How do I draw?
I said on their end step.
I know.
Because this is an instant ability. So, I mean, again, I'm a little confused as to why it's not legendary, but I know they have their strange reasons, the same reasons that the castles weren't legendary. It was something like the same reason for creatures. It's like it's a mana representation of the location or whatever it is. Whatever. But yeah, this is breakable. It's expensive. Thank goodness it costs 10 mana to activate.
Yes, because if only in Standard or Commander or Modern or Legacy or Vintage or Pioneer, if only there was some way to ramp out cards and get more land out in turns. Yes.
Yeah, because
this we'll never see hitting on turn 5. No.
I mean, it's got Chromatic Lantern. It's got Chromatic Lantern built in, which makes it easier to do.
Much easier.
10 mana in and of itself, plus this land is expensive, but it's doable in formats like Commander. In Standard, no, it's not a good card for Standard.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
I think there's enough gods. I think there's enough gods and enough ramp in Standard.
Well, there is. There's a combination with the other artifact in the deck to make your in the set to make your entire deck into gods.
Right. And I think there are enough there are enough gods in and of themselves. When you think about like the Theros gods, there's enough to where this could see something because it's explosive. If you can ramp into it and ramp to it. Now they did nerf some ramp. I mean, my God, if Uro was still here, holy shit.
He just had an interesting proposition, which is kind of terrifying. Ultimatum Tribal.
Oh, God dang it.
I kind of like that's insidious. I kind of like it.
Yeah, that's not going to end badly for anybody.
All right. Yeah, that's that one.
Moving on. And somebody mentioned this earlier. One of my personal favorites, Quakebringer. All right, I like any red card that starts off with the words, "Your opponents cannot gain life."
Yeah.
So I was like, damn Skippy. It's a 2 red, 3 colorless, so it's still a little expensive. It's a giant berserker, which again, giants are a thing. At the beginning of your upkeep, Quakebringer deals 2 damage to each opponent. This ability triggers only if Quakebringer is on the field or if Quakebringer is in your graveyard and you control a giant. So it's like, yeah, I attacked with it. It died. Sucks. You know what? Oh, wait, look. Here's another giant.
Here's another Quakebringer.
Yeah.
And you forgot something else about this card.
Yeah. The Foretell 2 and 2 colorless.
Got Foretell, so you can stash it away.
2 red and 2 colorless. This card will see play. This is kind of what Red's been needing. Red's been kind of Mono Red's been struggling, and I think Steve's right. I think we're going to start seeing some more big red, because with stuff that came out in 21, with stuff that came out in the last set, I like this card a lot.
Well, I mean, like turn 1. You do whatever. Turn 2, you either stomp or Foretell the Quakebringer.
Right.
Turn 3, you do a giant, the Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher. Turn 4, giant. Yep. Bring in Quakebringer.
Turn 4, you either Foretell in the Quakebringer or cast a Calamity Bearer, which is another giant from the set. That's 3/4 for 2 and 2 red. If a giant source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead.
And then we'll put Torbran in just for kicks.
Torbran, so big red heavy burn.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys all have big enough butts to survive most of the burn spells out there anyway. So this could be a thing.
He's not wrong. Open the Omen Pass. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of fun little interaction here. And in fact, speaking of red, you knew Aramis was going to bring this one up.
You know what? The reason I'm bringing this card up is because I think it's really interesting and I think it's really cool. It does tie into my next card that I'm going to talk about. So we'll leave that one. Let's leave that last card until I say the name.
Ooh, yes.
So the card I'm talking about right now is Tybalt's Trickery. It is an instant for 1 in a red, and it's got lots of words in it. That's a theme of red rare sometimes, just to have just so many words. So it reads counter target spell. Yes, I said counter target spell in red. There's more. Choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. Its controller mills that many cards, then exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card with a different name than that spell. They may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then they put the exiled cards on the bottom of their library in a random order. Here's why I like this card.
It could go either way.
Well, the way that it's worded,
yes,
you can target your own stuff.
Right.
So you cast it on something that's uncounterable, say, like, I don't know, the 6-mana Chandra.
Sure.
And then you get something else for free. You know, with the right kind of deck, you could be like, I'm going to counter this card, and well, what's the next non-land permanent card in my deck? If there's not a lot of non-land permanents, oh look, Emrakul.
Now
for 2 mana.
Yeah, here's the question on that. I mean, I assume it's got to have a target though. I mean, all right, Chandra can't be countered.
Yeah, but you can still target a spell that can't be countered. So it'll try to do as much. It'll try to do as much of the spell as it can. It can't counter the card. All of these other words.
So that other card comes out for 6.
Yeah. None of this card says if that spell is countered in this way, then do all this other stuff. It just does all this other stuff. So you cast a spell that's uncounterable, zip it with your own Tybalt's Trickery, get something else for free. The other side of the coin, obviously, is use it on their thing and hope that they don't hit something. It's Chaos Warp.
Mm-hmm.
You hope they spin the wheel, hope they don't get something good. And the reason they have the milling effect at 1, 2, or 3 are random is so that they can't manipulate the top few cards of their deck and get something good right on top.
Right.
Most of the cards that do that stop at around 3, like Brainstorm or Sensei's Divining Top, things like that. So it gets around.
They're fucking with the color wheel. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Red has had access to counter spells. It just very rarely. This is very in flavor for Red. It's saying I'm countering your spell, but you might get something better. You never know.
It still feels like you're kind of counter. It feels like
you are countering it.
You're fucking with the color wheel. There's just no way around that, dude.
No, red has access to counter spells. They always have.
Usually,
that has not changed
in concert with blue. I mean,
no, but they've had access to counter spells in mono red. It's usually been just color hate, or if they've had it, there's been some random. I forget a random writer attached to it saying that, hey, this other stuff has to happen too, but you can do all this. So they do the same thing with card draw. They do the same thing with adding mana. They're passionate in the moment saying, hey, I'm going to blow this up. Never mind what else might happen. I'm just blowing this up. And then you flip over some insane bomb instead, and they're like, oh shit.
Well, my last card, and this is kind of funny. It's a common, but damn if I don't love it. Frostbite, 1 red. So it's kind of a shock. Deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. However, if you control 3 or more snow permanents, it deals 3 damage instead, so it becomes a lightning bolt. Sort of.
Doesn't hit face.
Yes, but
it is nice though.
It is a good card. I like it. It's a little bit. I love the flavor of the fact that if you have snow permanents, which are lands, you can deal 3 instead.
No, there's snow creatures, there's snow enchantments, there's snow artifacts.
It's no problem, man.
No problem. God, Jesus.
My brain. Yeah. So.
No.
They should give us lightning bolt. You're not wrong.
They should give us lightning bolt. If they're giving us a quasi bolt, they might as well just give us the real thing. But the last card I'm going to talk about.
Okay, but yes, let's move on to your final card.
It ties in. Don't put it up yet. It ties into Tybalt's Trickery, but in the reverse way. For every way that Tybalt's Trickery is good, this card is bad. And that card is Divine Gambit. Divine Gambit is a sorcery for 2 white mana. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment an opponent controls. That's good.
Yeah.
That player may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield. That's
not so good.
That is very, very bad.
Mm-hmm.
See, at least with Tybalt's trickery, it's random. They could get nothing. They could get some random mana dork or whatever. You counter their eight mana bomb, they get a 1 mana dork. You know what I mean? Could be nothing.
Absolutely.
This
So
one
then
they have a lot more
why is this on your list?
because I wanted to show the difference between how to do a fun card good and how to do a fun card bad.
Because I feel like this is late game. This is more. I draw this in the late game. Exile target artifact,
It's
creature, or
so
enchantment, and you hope they
situational
have
because
nothing in their hands.
but that's it. Then it's a dead card in your hand until that point.
Right.
You're better off playing any other removal spell up until this point. If you're relying on that one narrow interaction where they have nothing in their hand, and the fact that it's double white means it's not even splashable. You have to be basically playing mono white to get this done.
I think this will see a lot of play in limited. I think this is a
no,
very good limited card.
This is a trap card. This is
Okay.
a card that you think is good, and there may be situations where it ends up working out for you, but the vast majority of the times you're going, all right, if I use this on anything other than their best card in their deck, I run the risk of getting blown out by their best card.
I get that.
It's one of those things where there's no reason why it couldn't have just cost an extra white mana and not had that extra part attached to it.
And Steve's right. It should have been an instant. So
Could have been well, yeah. There's another card in the set that is a common that does this for cheaper, and it's better. Or actually, it's more expensive, but it's an instant and it's better. It gives them a 1/1 flying bird in exchange for whatever you kill.
Well, I don't disagree. So that's our Kaldheim previews. We did 10 cards. We'll do more next week. So thanks. There's that. But I think we have combat. So let's get into that.
Yes.
Combat phase.
All right, combat phase. So, Aramis, you proposed this, so I'm going to let you take us out of this one, brother.
All right. So, if you guys were watching the preview video last week,
again, lame. Go on.
Whatever your thoughts on it were.
I know.
A lot of people probably left as soon as they said, "Hey, we'll see you later," and the lights went down. They did an Easter egg. If you stayed till the end, they previewed one last card, and it was in Phyrexian. That card was Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider. Now, this card had been leaked, but people were like,
Right.
Is it real? Is it not real? It is real, people. So for those of you who haven't seen the spoiler, hadn't seen the leak, hadn't seen the video, here is Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider. It is
Why didn't you put that in the thing? I'm going to add it on the screen.
Well, I'm going to read it off. It's 4 colorless and 2 green for a 6/6 legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor. So it's actually a Phyrexian creature type. It's the first time they've done this. It has trample and haste. If you would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice as many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead. This allows planeswalkers to ultimate on your side instantaneously because they enter with counters, so Vorinclex sees it and doubles it. The other ability that it has, if an opponent would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, they put half that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead, rounded down. So if you have a planeswalker with one that has a +1 ability on the opponent's side, they get 0 loyalty counters when they activate it.
Right.
If you have something that comes in with 1+1/+1 counter, it comes in with 0 +1/+1 counters. For a lot of creatures, that kills them. Same is true for poison counters, +1/+1 counters, lore counters, what have you. So here's the whole point of this combat. Card aside, looking at the story, people have been clamoring, asking for Kaldheim for years. We want the Viking set. We want the Viking set. We already know the plane exists because it showed up in Vikings. We know there's a set that's based around Norse mythology. We want to see it. We want to see it. We want to live in that lore because it's a very popular style of fantasy. So Wizards delivers on that, but then they also throw the Phyrexians in there, hinting at or starting probably another long story arc, which is going to end, I'm assuming, in New Phyrexia with another big Phyrexian war. Karn probably blowing up the plane with the Golgothan Silks and what have you. My question to you is, do you even care about the story, first of all?
Not a bit.
Okay. If you did,
this is the perfect combat because I think you and I we're almost diametrically opposed on this one.
If you were someone who cared about the story and were looking forward to this set, do you like the idea of having at least one, because we don't know if the rest of them are here, at least one of the Phyrexian Praetors in Kaldheim? And does that take away from the specialness of having visiting this plane that people have been waiting for such a long time? Does it take away from that?
No. Listen, I'm not big on the lore. I've gone into this. Like, I'm familiar with it, okay? I'm familiar with how they put things together. But for me personally, I like playing the game. I like collecting I'm more of a game player than even the collector. But I like collecting the cards. I like trying to get my hands on most of them. That being said, no. I feel like Phyrexian anything, okay, is an automatic, like, everybody gets giddy. All right? It's like it would be like if they put Luke Skywalker at the end of The Mandalorian. Okay? Like, it's something you would love to see. Okay? So yeah. I why wouldn't you want to see it? It's the Karate Kid. It's everything they did with Cobra Kai for season 3. All right, they brought back Allie.
I haven't seen season 3 yet.
What the hell's wrong with you, man?
We're trying to catch up. We're in season 2.
All right. Well, in any event, some of this, I mean, I said it in my ride home with Will, and I'll say it here. It's like season 3 is a love letter to fans of the Karate Kid. They didn't spend as much time with the kids as they did Johnny, Daniel, even Kreese gets a backstory. Like, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, we're starting to realize, I think a lot of things are starting to realize that that's what we want in this. So yeah, throwing a Phyrexian in there, as long as it's not overpowering it, I'm in. Like,
okay.
Do you disagree?
I'm not sure I disagree completely. When I saw the leak of Vorinclex, I lost my damn mind because I love the Phyrexians, and I was like, holy crap, here we freaking go. This is gonna be awesome. Then I sort of sat back a little bit and said,
Steve, you're out of your goddamn mind.
to me, I feel like it does take away a little bit of it, and only because of the fact that this plane had been so anticipated, so wanted, so people have been waiting for this set for so long. Like, if they had done this on like Innistrad, if they had waited until Innistrad,
they will.
I think. Well, here's the thing. I don't think they do it for Innistrad because they just dealt with Eldrazi there. But
nope. I'm telling you right now.
Well, I'm just saying it makes less sense for me. Who knows what they're going to do? But I'm saying, like, if theoretically they were going to do this, I would have rather they waited to do it on a plane that we've already visited, so that we already have some of the lore swallowed. Right. Some of the backstory is already there. It's already been fleshed out a little bit. And then you can drop that nice little Easter egg in there and say, "Here we go."
They're moving chess pieces.
They are moving chess pieces, and I have no problem with them moving chess pieces. To me, I was like I said at first, "Oh, this is great. This is awesome." I still think it's pretty cool. I can't wait because I missed the whole Mirrored and Besieged and New Phyrexia arc, so I missed all of that.
I have a feeling you're going to see Phyrexians in everything going forward.
Yeah, I think there's a couple
Nicol Bolas all over again.
They're
going to drag this out for 5 years, and by the end of it, we're going to be like, Jesus Christ, can you?
There's a couple of theories floating around. One of them saying that all 5 of the Praetors are going to be in this set. I don't buy that. I don't think the number crunching will bear that out. There's another theory that says it's going to be 1 Praetor each set for the next few sets. Maybe not every single set, but over the course of the next 7 or 8 sets, we're going to see all of the Praetors, at least all the ones that are still alive. But the only problem I have with it, and it's relatively minor, all things considered, is that I kind of wish, like I said, that maybe they should have done it on a plane that was already a little established. Like, if they had put the Praetor in Theros, it would have made a little more sense, because in the story, Ashiok finds out from Elspeth's dreams and nightmares who the Phyrexians are, and they planeswalk away to try to find these Phyrexians and see what they're all about. There could have been that one little story spotlight card where it shows either Vorinclex or Ashiok meeting up with Elish Norn or whatever it is,
Right.
So I love the fact that the Phyrexians are coming back. I love the fact that we're going to go into another big, long story arc. I think a war with the Phyrexians would be great. I felt like the timing, while it wasn't bad, could have been better. You see what I'm saying?
I'm okay with it. Because again,
I'm okay with it too. I'm not saying I'm not okay with it.
Kaldheim, yeah, everybody's been kind of crying for it, or a lot of people have, but some people, here's the thing: there are probably some people out there that don't give a shit about Norse mythology.
No, there's people who don't give a shit. There's people who don't
Yeah.
give a crap about the Phyrexians.
Right, but they may be. That's just it. They may be giving a shit about the Phyrexians. So I think what they're doing, and Wizards has been doing this for a while now. They're hedging their bets. So
My only problem with that is that the people who care about the Phyrexians and don't care about Kaldheim, you've had your cake already, as it were, because the Phyrexians were a major part of the original storyline going all the way through Invasion Block, and then they came back for Mirrodin Besieged, whereas we've never been to Kaldheim other than one card in Plane Chase that referenced the plane. So we knew about it, but there was nothing really there.
Right.
So I think in that regard, if you're someone who doesn't care about Kaldheim, but you care about Phyrexians, okay, you get more good stuff. But if you cared about Kaldheim and not the Phyrexians, this was your first chance, and you're like, okay, well, it could have been a 10 out of 10, but now it's like an 8 out of 10. It's still great, but it could have been a little bit better if they just left it alone and maybe reintroduced the Phyrexians maybe a set or two later.
Right.
But they're going to so many new planes this year, so I guess if there had to be a time, it had to be now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with it, but
I'm okay with it too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I think the delivery could have been timed a little better. But
I guess we didn't have a clear winner on this combat, but I didn't think we would. Let's go to main 2 because we're starting to get towards the end of the show here, and I want to make sure we get the winner box and stuff in. So let's get to
Main phase.
All right, so second main phase. The first thing we want to talk about tonight, which is very exciting. This is the start of season 3.
Yes.
So yes, we have officially been on the air for 2 years. This is the start of year 3. 2 years ago, like I think it was this week, it came up in my Facebook. Like we did our first show.
Mm-hmm.
So we had I decided tonight I wanted to do something a little special. Like the first show, like I go back thinking about it. We're not talking about Show Zero. Show Zero is a show that'll live in infamy, and if I can ever find it, EA will play it. We'll definitely throw it in the feed.
Oh, God.
But Show 1 even was a little bit, we hadn't found our footing yet. I mean, it's so cool now 2 years later, but I've got a little bit here. I'm just going to play this real quick. So.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the PlanesTalkers podcast. This is a show dedicated to the discussion of the standard game of Magic the Gathering. I am your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my faithful compatriot, Aramis. Welcome, Aramis. This is episode 1.
Episode 1? Yay!
Episode 1.
All right, I like the sound of that.
So, well,
you could just tell we had not found our footing yet.
Yeah, I liked your semi-elitist. Yes, we'll be talking about these cards, and if we're lucky, we'll have some caviar
I almost
afterwards.
had like the Thurston Howell the third voice. It's like, hello, lover, and I'm going to talk to you clenched teeth, lover.
Darling, could you bring the yacht around? Not the brown yacht, the white yacht. Thank you very much.
I mean, it wasn't long after, like, I think it was episode 5 where we finally came up with the tagline, the by casuals for casuals. And, we started really getting our stride. I remember it was around episode 3. I remember talking to you and being like, we were offline. I'm like, okay, listen, dude, you're doing great. You're doing good. But are you nervous? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, you can't be. Like, because you sound nervous and you're just very,
still
very
get nervous.
Yeah, but back then you were like, so we're here to talk about Magic tonight. I am going. It wasn't like you were reading it, but it was very monotone. There was no, like, you never pegged the board. Me, if you look at my board, man, I'm all crazy. No, we are not dyeing our beards for the 125th episode. I'll be dyeing my beard before that. Jesus Christ, this is not quantum physics. I had a white beard a month ago. All right.
I don't need to dye my beard yet.
All right, shut up there, Spock. But yeah, we I think in the past 2 years we definitely found our footing. Having Kerwin's come alongside us last year, we're starting year 2 with them. And I'm very excited about that. But I think about the things. I mean, I think about, the listeners we've had. I think John's been with us from the start. Walt was with us from the start. He had to take a step away because of his family stuff, but he's still somebody very near and dear to us. I still check in with him from time to time. Jonathan, and obviously Steve and Anthony and Nick and my guys from Glenmont. Like all of the incredibly cool stuff that we've been able to do. And this is like the clip show portion. I mean, so if I'm thinking about the best episode we had this year, well, it's Aramis's favorite episode of this year. Yes. So let's,
It got to the point where
he's talking.
He was
about
up on
something.
life to me, 52 to 1.
52
I was dead on his
to
next
1.
attack. So I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I played a Academy Drake to block it. Then I played a Cloud Reader Sphinx to block it. Now, when Cloud Reader Sphinx comes into play, you scry too.
Right.
So I scryed, and the second card that I scryed and put to the top of my deck was this card right here, in Bolas's clutches.
You asshole.
So what happened on the next turn? I stole that damn worm from him, and then proceeded to take his life all the way back down from 52. It was the greatest comeback I had ever seen, personally or on camera, in Magic. And
Yeah, 52 to 1.
That didn't happen.
anytime he gets out of line, I just feel like
that didn't happen.
Dude. 52 to 1, boys and girls. It happened.
That did happen. So I didn't want to start year 3 here without first acknowledging you guys. We wouldn't be able to do this show without you listeners. And whether you're a patron or not, whether you've put it in an iTunes review or not, but damn it, put it in an iTunes review if you're not patrons. And if you are, do it anyway. This show exists because we saw a vacuum. I've said it before. There was not a standard podcast. There are now, but there was not a standard podcast 2 years ago. And we've been passed by some of the big boys, and I don't care. I'm having more fun. But I love doing this show. I'm so thankful for you guys and for letting us, for coming alongside us and just being a part of things and, jumping in our chat and listening to Steve trying to bait me into some stupid bet. I mean, there's
that you'll inevitably lose.
Yeah, that's why I'm not doing it. So
you still owe me a boosty.
Yeah. So a bustier, you got it. Are you a D cup now? What are we looking at here?
I'm still like lowercase a. I don't know.
So again, we're starting year 3. We had our Patreon call last week, and we only had one patron show up. But I mean, I did send it out to the others. We're going to get some feedback from them. So if you're a patron, make sure you're checking the Patreon feed. I did put the audio from that call up, as well as send the notes out. So we'd love to have you guys give us some info on that. Let us know what you think of that.
We definitely take all your guys' feedback to heart. Some of the things that we've implemented in the show have been direct results of suggestions by the patrons. So,
right.
You guys have a voice in the show.
One of the things we're going to start doing is because we kind of walked away from doing the monthly drawings for the patrons, we're going to get back to that. I just need to find out if you're a patron, you need to let me know in Discord if you can, if you've got the ability to play Paper Magic, because we'd love to have you sit in Commander or to the playcast. Mm-hmm. So we'd really like that. And don't forget the Win-A-Box, which is the other thing we want to talk about. We're going to close the show with tonight is we are doing our quarterly or every standard set Win-A-Box event. So we did have our call Saturday. We talked it over with Anthony and us, and we really kind of feel like last time we had Historic Artisan, and that seemed to be a really good match. It allowed you to not have a ton of, and this is an arena, by the way, to not have a ton of wild cards, okay? Everybody's got, uncommon and common wild cards. Everybody does.
For the most part, you should, yeah.
So, hey, Spiral, how are you, buddy? So we're doing, we're going to do that again. We instituted a ban list because we realized that shit's on fire, all right?
Yeah, we straight up stole the one from Arena, but whatever.
Yeah, we took it from MTG Arena Zone. It's in the Discord. How do you sign up? So, listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The last 2 times we've done this, we've been very lucky, but it has been a very, very manual process. In that it required you to email me. I put you into a Google Doc, and then I had to respond to you, and then we had to chase you down for a deck list and make sure that you were in and make sure everything was going good and that you're in America and all this. We're not doing that this time. I've automated it as best I can. It's going to be integrated almost exclusively through our Discord. So, discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. Go to that site. Join into the Discord. There's Kaldheim information right there. It says Kaldheim Tournament, I do believe, down on the lower left. It's a category. And
Yep.
there's instructions in there. And believe me, the people in our Discord are fucking awesome. And we will help you because we want to get the 64. So we are limiting this to 64 players only. So between now and Wednesdays, when you listeners and you Discord people have access to this, okay? Our patrons had it over the weekend. Now it's Discord and our listeners who listen to the live show and listen to the podcast. I'll get the podcast out tonight. So you guys have until Wednesday. Wednesday during the day at some point, I will start blasting this to the various groups I'm in. After that, we'll fill up quickly. So again, if you I want this to be our listeners primarily, but I also want to have a really good event. So if you want to play, first of all, you need to have an arena account. Second of all, you need to be in the U.S. If you're not in the U.S., and you want to play, that's fine. You just can't win the box. Okay, if you want to have us donate it to a deserving kid from my old job, that's fine. Anthony and Steve cannot play since they're Commander Craft hosts. However, I think Steve is going to play for one of the Glenmont kids. I think Anthony might also choose somebody else who can't play. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to let you do that. Okay, you can play for somebody else. Aramis and I, of course, will not even do that. That just, that screams of not fair. It is Historic Artisan. It is best of 3. It's in arena. You have a week to get a match in. It's very similar to how it's been before. The rules will be going up probably tomorrow. So if you want in, go to our Discord, discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. It's in the show notes. It's on our website. It's in our Twitch. It is out there. I've managed to make it very easy. So again, discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. Join the Kaldheim tournament on the left side. Get in there. Sign up. 1 in 64 chance. The first 64 people have the spots. All right. And I staggered it so that my patrons got it first. And after that, so you're now in the second tier. If I fill 64 out of this second tier, I won't even go to the Facebook forums. But, let's get it done. So, and that's our way of saying thank you to you. That's provided by Kerwin's Game Store. They provide the box. They will mail you the box. We never see it. It's all yours. It's not going to be opened. It's totally sealed, and it's all yours. And it's, as I understand it, it's always been a pretty great package. So we're very excited for this. And Steve, you'll sign up, but it'll be for Nick. So you'll, because Nick doesn't have an arena name. So you have to sign up, but we are aware that you're playing for Nick. Yeah. So, I mean, Aramis, do you have any other thoughts about the last 2 years or the Winnabox or?
Well, the Winnabox, I don't remember if you mentioned it or not. If there happens to be a situation where a buy needs to be awarded, we want to make sure this clear.
Because this system we have, I think it's gonna randomize it completely. I don't think I have a way to mess with it.
All right, well, if not, we'll check on that. But our plan right now is to award the buy to a patron of some level.
Right.
If the system ends up being totally randomized, that's out of our control, and it is what it is. But if we have control of the buy and a buy needs to be awarded, we will be awarding it to the patron. That's not to encourage or force you guys to join our Patreon. We would never do that. It's just it's a perk of theirs for having done it,
because we took a few away this year with the and here's the thing, our patron program, this is kind of a surprise, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Aramis and I are looking at playmats. Aramis and I are going to get some playmats for us, but I think if you've been a patron for a year straight, we're gonna figure out a way to send you a playmat too. It'll be a PlanesTalker playmat. But be on the lookout for that. So stick with the Patreon. But and it's a Planeswalker level. I don't know. I can't justify it for the $1. I just can't.
They're expensive playmats.
Yeah, it's gonna be but definitely. If you stay a Planeswalker level patron for a year, there are going to be some more perks coming.
Yeah.
So, all right. With that, then I think we're fit to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's hit this thing then. All right. Both Aramis and I want to remind you that we do stream Arena on the PlanesTalkers podcast channel on Twitch. Although I haven't streamed Arena in a while, look up PlanesTalkers podcast there. But we also stream our show. We also stream the playcast. Everything goes through Twitch.
There's
so
no device capable of audio playback connected.
Thank you, Siri. I love my new Apple Watch, by the way. This thing kicks ass. Look up PlanesTalker podcast. You can also follow me on Twitch at Mindcrime73.
And if you want an exercise in futility, you can follow me on Twitch at RMECWRX, because most of the time that I stream, which hasn't been for a while, unfortunately, because of life reasons, anytime I do stream, it's going to be on the PlanesTalkers podcast channel. So look for me there. And that'll really be the best chance you have to see any additional content that we put out on Twitch. If Twitter is more your speed, you want to follow the show that way, you can find us at PlanesTalkerPod on Twitter. We're not banned like some people.
No. Oh, wow. Shots fired.
And you can't respond either.
For even more futility, I have a personal Twitter as well. It's at WR Benson, but let's be honest, folks. I'm really on there to only follow my absolute favorite musical recording artist, Gerardo. So.
Rico.
Oh, she's getting into it.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. But it's at WR Benson, and of course you can always follow us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/PlanesTalker, not PlanesTalkers, because somebody took it. No, wait, I mean we took that last S off for savings.
Oh.
And like and follow our page there. And reminder, again, if you want in on the Kaldheim, our Discord is discord.planestalkerspodcast.com.
And finally, if you want to send us an email, you can send us emails, and even, you want to send us a suggestion for the show, ask for advice, maybe have a rules question, anything like that, or a comment, you can email any of us, all of us, at the same time. Everyone. So the global email address, I guess you should say, the global address for our email is podcast@planestalkerspodcast.com.
The word's fun to say, global.
It does. It is fun to say global. We used to have global enchantments. Now it's
global. Just say that for a second. Whoa. If you're in your car, just stop for a second. Say
global. Now the word has lost. It's lost all meaning to me now. Thank you.
It hasn't. And then there are stupid words like door. I feel that door is a stupid word. It just sounds dumb. Door. Why is it the swear words are so much fun to say? Fuck.
I don't know.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, yeah, podcast@planestalkerspodcast.com. Those emails you send to that address get sent to both of us, so we both get the chance to read it. If you want to send an email to either one of us individually, you can send Will an email, will@planestalkerspodcast.com. If you want to send me an email so we can gloat together about 52-1, yeah, snuck that in there.
And fuck you. Fuck you.
That address is Aramis, ARAMIS, @planestalkerspodcast.com.
And I want to remind you guys, I do host another podcast. Deals with the television show DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which is on hiatus. Thank you, COVID. So Legends TV Talk, which is the name of the podcast, is also kind of on hiatus. But how we've been filling the time is we've actually been playing Minecraft as a group. We play with another podcast called Flash TV Talk. And we're all on this server called Flashcraft. So you'll see me play a lot. I throw it up on Planes Talkers podcast and stuff. Find us on Facebook at Legends TV Talk. We'd love to, especially if you like DC stuff. We do have, I forgot about this because it was last month. We do have an iTunes review. So I do want to go into that real quick because iTunes reviews are wonderful. As we mentioned before, we really need them to kind of bring eyes to the show. If you feel like you can't be a patron, and I totally understand that in this podcast,
absolutely,
in this climate,
in this world.
Listen, this is really how you want to help the show. This helps the show. Just download iTunes to your computer. Sign up for an Apple account. Go in, find the show, and leave us a review. Trey Byrne left us one on December 15th. It said, PlanesTalkers is one of my favorite podcasts. It's a great mix of standard metagame analysis and other topics when standard gets boring or broken. Yes, very good.
Which has been both in the last year.
Really a lot, actually. They also have hosted virtual tournaments in the past, and I hope they continue to do so. Trey, I hope you'll be joining us for this one. Shout out from Albany County. Woo! Represent.
Nice.
Love to hear all the upstate New York references. I'm sure he's talking about Kerwin's Game Store. It's probably how he found us. But definitely, if you leave us a review, and please, listen, folks, 5 stars. It's like Uber. Okay, if you leave me 4, if I'm getting left 4 stars, I feel like I probably pooped on your desk. Okay, like, it's either 5 or you suck, is kind of how iTunes looks at it.
If it's, I guess, in the sense of wanting to make sure the podcast gets more eyes. If you feel like you can't leave a 5-star review, send us an email. Tell us what we did wrong, and we'll see what we can do to fix that.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, if you're reading the chat, I don't know how. Is that a bot? That's a bot, right?
I'm not sure.
The name is Opie's Tits. I feel that's a bot.
Is he referencing small birds?
Is he representing, or is he saying Ron Howard's boobs? I want to know which one he means.
That could be either. You know, it's a global question.
Global.
He's talking about globes.
Okay, we better get the hell out of here. Okay. So we want to again say thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. It's the start of season 3. He's not a bot, he says.
This is awesome. Hi, guys.
You know what? Hold on. Here's the thing. Yeah, we got to start that again because that just...
It's just, the name is gold. I love it. I love the name.
The name is gold. I'm wondering... Wait. Sir. Are you Donald Trump? Are you hiding? Is that... Because red hair and boobs. Trump has both. I'm just saying.
Is that even his real hair?
Huh?
Is that even his real hair?
Well, of course it's not his real hair, but that's probably not his real boobs either. He probably had a job. But in any event, no, he's not a bot. Cyan's Entertainment sent me here. Well, it's nice to have you, Opie's Tits. Well, we've already earned the explicit, so at this point, I'll make sure to hit that explicit button when we put this up.
Either way, Opie's
breastises.
Opie's breasticles.
Opie's chesticles. Yes.
We're glad you're here.
Opie's
glad you found us.
Yes.
I hope we didn't scare you away.
No,
come back
too.
next week, please.
Please come back. We're a lot more fun. Listen, this is 9.6, and I drank this in less than an hour. I cannot be held responsible for anything.
This is 7 Up, so I don't know what your problem is.
All right. So, and on that note, let's try that again. We're going to get out of here tonight. We want to thank you guys for listening and hanging out with the show. We will be back next Monday with our regular podcast. We'll be back Wednesday with our Playcast, where I do believe Anthony has to defend his title. Wow. So for Aramis Perez, this is Will Benson saying thank you all for being listeners for these great 2 seasons. We're excited to start season 3. And we want to remind you to keep some of your mana untapped because you never know when you need it. Take care. Have a good week, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye. And I stopped recording.
All right.
Okay, that was off the chain. I'm not a bot. Oh, dear. I did not mean to insult you, sir. I apologize.
Sorry. Please come back.
Oh, please come back. Please.
I have 85 on mine.
What's that?
85 on mine.
You're on 85? I thought it was
85.
86. All right. This is episode 85.
Yeah, because 84 was 1228.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It tracks.
It tracks. But will it blend? So, okay, PlanesTalker, PT 86 or 85 Will sounds.
I mean, don't get me wrong, 86 was a good year. The Mets won the World Series.
Oh, 86 was a great year. I was 13. I remember everything about 86.
I was 4. I remember almost nothing.
Including this lovely blonde. Well, we won't discuss that. Opie's boobs. I like Opie's tits. This is great. I don't know.
That's
who
almost
Cyan's
as bad. What was the other name? The one that won the contest.
What kind? Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh my God, what was it? It was another basically borderline inappropriate name, but it was awesome.
I mean, listen, we're getting the explicit tag. I think I've dropped the F-bomb like 12 times tonight. So
yeah,
I do goddamn it like every 6 seconds, which I'm sure somewhere my mother is spinning in her urn. But that got dark. Oh, this is a good show. Yeah,
we're back,
yeah.
I thought
you would like it if I pulled the clip for 52-1. I knew you'd like the recall.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot. We could do that. We could do that more often. That could be an intro.
No, it really can't. We're never ever going to hear it again.
Well, if you have your own great comeback, you can have your own clip.
Dude, I've beaten you like 25 times.
But never like that.
No, never like that.
I need a cigarette after that comeback.
And you don't smoke. Well,
I don't even smoke.
Tobacco, anyway.
Or the other stuff, unfortunately.
Opie's tits. I still love Opie's tits, man. You know what? That
is
we
he
should
still here?
isolate. I still love Opie's tits. I don't know if he's still here or not. Yeah, I got one person watching on YouTube, so I think he's still watching.
Dude, I mean, I'm curious as to why you settled on that name, but at the same time, I'm glad you're here.
Can I
You
get
do
a
be getting
shout out?
shout-outs.
We've done nothing but shout you out. Yes.
I love it.
I feel
love
like
it, dude.
I feel like we've already shouted you out. Like
Yeah.
75. You can't roll in with a name like Opie's tits and not get a shout out. In fact, I
You've
feel like
basically been invited to dinner at this point,
yeah,
right?
Seriously, like this just
Come
yeah.
Come back next week.
Yes, come back next week. If you
8
come
p.m.
back,
Eastern.
yes, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will definitely
7:30
Opie's
Eastern. 7:30 Eastern for the playcast. We play Commander. You can watch us all get
on
salty.
Wednesday. So
'Cause I got salty last week, and
Boy,
I
did you get
apologize
salty
for
last-
that.
Dude,
I did.
I got
did.
salty 2 weeks ago, man. It happens. Some weeks you're just like,
Yeah.
you want
And
to
I'm
play
u-
something. Tits
Yeah,
is my
that was the
last name.
thing.
Don't give me that shit. There's no way your mother married a guy named Tits. Like, can you imagine that date? Like, you go into a bar, you're like, "What's up? My name's Mike." "Oh, I'm Sean. I'm Sheila. It's nice to meet you, Mike. What's your last name?" "I don't like to talk about my last name." "Oh, why not? Mine's Schlesing Mexinger." "Mine's Tits."
And punched in the face.
There's no way that is your last name, sir.
If it is, it is simultaneously
If it
the most
I-
awesome
if it
and
is,
most
I
unfortunate.
have to meet your mother. Like, you need to invite us over for dinner at your parents'
Is it
house.
short for something?
Yeah, it could be like Titslinger, which is a great.
And we're not.
name,
And
too.
honestly, we're not
Yeah.
picking on you, dude.
No,
You're
no.
seriously
Well,
not
no.
picking
If
on
you're
you.
serious,
Well, he might
honestly,
be.
if your last
He
name
might
is
be.
Tits, we're picking on you a little. But
He
we ain't
might
the
be.
first. I'm gonna lay this out here. I worked for a guy once named Scott Seaman, and I asked him, I'm like, "You got picked on a lot in grade school." He's like, "You have no fucking idea."
Oh, there were several staff members at my high school that had an unfortunate.
My brother's
unfortunate-
name is Harry. Okay, no, this is all fucking bullshit.
I'll tell you this. You're gonna love this, Benson. I had a gym teacher in high school, Richard Hardigan.
You're kidding me, Dick
I am,
Hardigan.
I am serious as a heart
Oh
attack.
my god, that would have been so. Like, it's what would have happened if I was born Oxbig. If my last name was Oxbig, I would have changed my name to Mike.
I mean, we had a Michael Hunt in our.
You did
grade.
not have a Michael
I did.
Hunt.
I will get the yearbook and show you if
Oh,
you ever come over.
Fucking asshole.
And it happened once where he was called at the principal's office and they used a short version of his name.
No,
and the silence
no.
was the worst. It was the worst.
You know, that would be one of those moments where she'd have to be like, "You know what? I'm just gonna leave for the day now."
It was a guy.
It was a guy. I'd leave for the day. I'd be like, "I have to go."
And we already have the explicit tag, so and it's not even with that. So
Yeah.
the announcement came over. Can I have your attention, please? Can Mike Hunt please come to the office? And that poor kid.
Oh God, that's
That poor
fucking
kid.
beautiful.
I'll show you. If you ever come over, or if I ever visit you, I'll bring a yearbook and I will show him to you, and I'll show you the gym teacher as well.
Oh dear God, Mike Hunt is like again.
They don't
I
think.
thought Billy
People don't
Benson was
think.
bad. I did. I thought when I got to college and that girl changed my name to Will, it was like the best day ever. I'm like, my God, I get to leave Billy Benson behind. Thank the Lord. Because again, Will came about just because a girl. We had another Bill in our group, and a girl was like, "No, we can't do this." She's like, "We have a Bill. You have to be something else." And again, it's my first night in college, and this girl was a non-trad. Okay, so she's like 23. So I'm immediately like, "Please marry me." And she's like, because she's talking to me for longer than 5 seconds, so I'm automatically in love. And she's like, "All right, we need a name for you. So what about?" She's like, "Well, do you want to go by William?" And I'm like, "Dear God, do I sound British?" She's like, No. She's like, "You're a Star Trek fan. What about Will?" I'm like, Will Benson. You know what? That could work. She's like, 1 L or 2. I'm like, whichever you'd like, Gab. She's
Yeah, 'cause
like,
if it's only one, that means Will Wheaton, and that means
she's
you're
like,
Wesley.
"I think you're a 2L Will." I'm like, then I am a 2L Will. Let it be out. And she
My
made
daughter's
all of
teacher
my
is named
friends who-
Dookie.
Oh dear God, that's awesome. She made all of my friends start calling me Will. She made me go back to my dorm room and change my outgoing message on the answering machine to the point where my father, who I was named after, I am Bill Benson Jr. Like, all of a sudden it's like, hi, you've reached Dave and Will. We're not here right now, but leave a message for Dave, press 1. Leave a message for Will, press 2. And we'll call you back. And my father, he goes, Will, huh? Well, Will, when you get a chance, why don't you give your mom and dad a call? It sounds like we need to catch up on some things. Will?
Did you see what Mama Shay?
Yes, her daughter's teacher's name is Dookie. Sounds like a shitty teacher to me.
Oh.
New
Boy.
New God spoiled. 3 mana 6/6. Oh, that'll be for next week. Oh yeah, I like I said, there was a Scott Seaman I worked for once, and I'm like, oh, 7th grade health class had to be your fucking worst day ever. He's like, you have no idea.
Oh God, okay. It's a 6/6 with Death Touch.
6/6 Death Touch, because why not?
Oh, okay. Well, actually, that's pretty balanced.
Well, of course it is.
Can you ever upkeep, exile 2 cards from your graveyard? If you can't, sack it, draw a card.
All right, I'm down with that. All right,
like
well, everybody, I think, I don't know. Did you get your stuff up there? Or
Yeah, it should be it's all Dropboxed in.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. Because I should get this out tonight because we talk about the game. I don't think I even have to do any real editing. I don't even think the levels are wrong tonight. I fixed a lot of problems last week. There were some major issues with sound the last couple of weeks. And it's on my end. Like, my voice is too quiet or your voice is... It's like... It's been a real problem. So I think this week, though, I got it narrowed down. So I think during our bit, like, 52-1 was really quiet. But you know what? It'll be fine.
You don't mind that one bit.
But yeah, that was something. That was a good. This is a good show. I had a good time, especially the end with,
my God.
To Opie's tits, man. How do you
even? You know what? If it's not a bot, it's a troll, and I like this troll.
Yes. Can I get a shout out? I'm like, motherfucker, what have we been doing the last half hour?
I'm gonna look up Saiyans Entertainment and see what the heck that's all about.
Yeah, check our YouTube page. I mean, he probably linked to it. It's like, I'm not a bot. I'm like, well, to be fair, dude. Okay, like, we run the risk of bots on this thing. I mean, we're not talking quantum physics here.
Mm-hmm. That's a YouTube channel.
Oh. Can I get a shout out? It's like, well, of course, we just gave you a shout out. We'll give your show a shout out next week because that was fucking funny. He did provide us like unending amusement. So,
right.
Tits is my real name. Don't even.
Don't know.
What?
I'm just looking at the uploads from this person.
What are they like?
They talk about entertainment and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. You might find us entertaining. Watch, we missed our chance to like go big time because we were making fun of his name.
We're gonna see if it says the about channel where radio and entertainment is discussed.
Oh dear, radio entertainment? Oh fuck.
Radio and entertainment.
Oh dear, we're gonna
about 7 million views altogether. Blah 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 blah.
We're gonna get trounced. He's gonna be like, these guys are the most unprofessional assholes I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, probably, but it's all good.
Oh, this was a lot of fun. I had a good time tonight. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, I think you might be right, Steve. This is 8.2, and this is gone. It's good though. I'm sorry. I like a good IPA. Yeah. So, all right, I've got your file, so I guess I can go and get this big boy started.
Sounds good to me.
I'll get it put up. Yeah, I feel kind of bad. It's like, it's a little rough. Like, signing up is a little bit more on them than it is on me. Like, they have to go into this chat. They have to go into this room and they have to register. And then when they register, they have to go and they have to like reply to the thing they get that says join solo. And yeah, it sucks a bit, but you know what? I'm not going to miss an email this time.
Right.
So, I mean, that's kind of part of it. And then again, like you saw, it like takes hours just to deck lists. I'm like, no. We're going to post them right in the freaking Discord. Put a picture up. So all I have to do is once they're registered, so every day I'm going to go check the website for who's registered, who's officially registered. And then they'll get a room under that Kaldheim deck list, and they have to go and put their deck list in there. So that's the way I kind of see it. And let me see, did somebody else join? Oh, New York City Pony. All right, cool. So
It'll work itself out.
this was good. So, all right. Hey, Street. This is the end of our post-show shenanigans. Post-show shenanigans here. Why? Because I want to put stuff together, and then I want to like go to where my bed is and use it. And then maybe go look at Opie's tits. I mean, let's be honest. They're Opie's tits. Who doesn't want to see Ron Howard's breasticles?
Well, I mean, if they're dragging on the floor, I mean, I don't know.
Huh? That would be
You're gonna get stuff thrown at you again.
That would be utterly bad. Oh, listen to Steve. No. Steve, we're going to talk off air. Again, and Aramis is with me on this. All right. And well, we're talking on air, so fuck it. Yeah. It's no fun when you roll in with like dumb broken deck. If Anthony had not punted that deflector or whatever it was, you were running away with that game. He deflected back like 1,000,000 damage.
Oh, that's what happened at the end of that one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I was out after Oko, so.
Yeah. Oh, you were. Yeah. And I should have known. I know better than to play Oko against you. Like, you just get a little salty whenever the big purple guy shows up.
Think about, I was playing in a deck that had nothing but artifacts.
Yes.
You could have literally invalidated every single card in my deck.
But
there
were
was
not
no
totally
point.
my target. I was just trying to keep Steve.
Don't
just trying to keep Steve occupied until,
It's enough of the first thing you Oko'd was my Forsaken Monument. So I was like, all right, that's it. I'm done. Because I couldn't do anything else because my commander is an artifact.
Yes.
So you could just Oko it and I can't get rid of it.
Yes. Which I would have done. But
yeah,
to be fair, everybody's commander is a creature. I would have done it to theirs too.
Yeah, but mine's doubly bad because then all my other stuff is artifacts too.
Right. Well, that's a wrap, guys. We're gonna be back Wednesday night. Tune in. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Oh, no infinite combos that can be done with 2 cards. I don't know if I want to go that far. Again, we should talk. One of these times we'll talk offline. We'll have like a host show like meeting, where it's just the 4 of us. Because I do like I look at like game nights and I'm like, okay, that Johnny and Josh could go, or Jimmy and Josh could go. They could wipe the floor with these people, and they lose at just as much as they win because it's better, it's better content. So, all right, guys, let's get out of here. I'm gonna edit the show down real quick, and then we will talk to you guys next week. So,
all right, see you guys on Wednesday. Nice.